Let's now discuss about placenta. Placenta, it is the organ connective link between the uterus part of the mother and the developed embryo. It consists of two portions. One is maternal part. Maternal part is came or derived from the endometrium of the uterus. Uterus, it is the main part in the female reproductive system, and endometrium, that is the inner layer of the uterus. Inner layer of the uterus is called endometrium. Endometrium that derives a maternal part of the placenta. And next portion, it is came from the fetal membrane of the fetal part of placenta. Fetal membrane that is gives the fetal part of placenta. Student, what about different types of the components present in these two portions? Maternal part that consists of maternal components. Maternal components are uterine epithelium, uterine epithelium, and uterine connective tissue. Connective tissue that is present in the uterus, and uterine capillary endothelium. Capillary means blood capillaries. Blood capillaries made up with the single layer, that is the endothelium. Capillary endothelium, uterine capillary endothelium. These three are forms the maternal components. These are maternal components that forms the maternal part of the placenta. Next, fetal components. Fetal components, student, in the formation of the placenta. Which are the fetal components? Fetal capillary endothelium, fetal connective tissue, and fetal chorionic epithelium. Chorion, it is the one of the fetal membrane. The epithelium present in the chorion, that is fetal chorionic epithelium. These three are fetal components that forms the fetal membrane of the fetal part of placenta. Student, it is the diagrammatic representation about the human fetus within the uterus. Fetus, this is the fetus, student. Development within the uterus, it is the uterus of the female reproductive system. This is the uterus inner part. If you observe, this is the developed embryo. This is the embryo. Okay, student, it is the embryo. These are extra embryonic membranes surrounds the developed embryo. These are extra embryonic membranes. Student, these are chorionic villi, also called placental villi, which invades into the endometrium of the uterus. These are entered into the inner part of the endometrium of uterus. Okay, student. Next, it is the umbilical cord with its vessels. Vessels means blood vessels. Umbilical cord, this is the umbilical cord, connecting link between the developed embryo and placenta. Okay, student. And it is the plug of the mucus in cervix. Cervix, it is the cervix. Cervix is the region with the plug of mucus. Okay, cervix, it is the neck-like part of the uterus. Female's vagina opens into the uterus by the cervix. It is the cervix with the plug of mucus. Student, next, what about umbilical cord? Umbilical cord, it is the narrow tube-like structure connects developing baby to placenta. It is the narrow tube-like structure developing baby connected to the placenta by the help of umbilical cord. Okay, and contains a network of the capillaries. Network of the capillaries called arteries, veins. Umbilical arteries, umbilical veins present in this umbilical cord. Okay, these are arteries and the veins formed by the chorionic villi, developed by the chorionic villi. Next, this is the placenta, is also called Coriolentike placenta. What is the meaning of Coriolentike placenta? Invascularization. Vascularization means formation of the blood vessels, appearance of the blood vessels, development of the blood vessels. Alenta is fused with the chorion. Alenta is, it is the one of the fetal membrane. It is fused with the chorion. Okay, student, and it leads to the development of the much amount of the blood vessels in the formation of the placenta. So it is called Coriolentike placenta. Next, student, Hemocorial placenta. It is the placenta is also called Hemocorial placenta. Why? Maternal blood comes into direct contact with the membrane of the chorionic villi. These are the chorionic villi, students. These are invades into the endometrium of the uterus and directly contact with the mother's blood. These are directly linked with contact with the maternal blood circulation. Okay. Maternal blood comes into direct contact with the membrane of the chorionic villi. These are the chorionic villi, direct contact with the maternal blood. Okay. So it is called Hemocorial placenta. Hemo means blood. Next, student, another functions of placenta. What about the functions of placenta? Placenta shows different types of the functions. Okay. Placenta supplies food particles to the developed fetus, and it is also useful in exchange of the oxygen and the carbon dioxide to the embryo and from the embryo, and removal of wastages from the embryo. Okay, and functions of placenta, and not only these functions, other functions also shows by the placenta. Placenta secretes different types of the hormones. Okay, for maintenance of the pregnancy. In this, progesterone is the hormone. Maintenance of pregnancy after 4th month. What is the function of the progesterone? Progesterone helps in maintenance of pregnancy after 4th month. Okay, after the ovulation, ovum releases from the Graafian follicle, that is called ovarian, that is called ovulation. Ovum releases from the Graafian follicle, matured follicle, tertiary follicle, that is called ovulation. After the ovulation, Graafian follicle turn into yellowish body structure, that is called corpus luteum. Corpus luteum secretes progesterone hormone up to the 3rd month. It is progesterone hormone helps in maintenance of the pregnancy. After the 3rd month, from the beginning of the 4th month, progesterone is secreted by the placenta. It is helps in maintenance of the pregnancy. Next, estrogens. It is also called estradiol. It is estradiol. Estrogen promote uterine growth, enter the uterine growth of the wall of uterus, changes in the endometrium of the uterus, that is promotes by estrogens. Okay, development of mammary glands. Mammary glands also developed by estrogen. Okay, it is also helps in pregnancy. Next, human chorionic gonadotropins, HCG. Human chorionic gonadotropins. That means it shows the similar action to LH. It shows similar action to luteinizing hormone. It shows similar action to luteinizing hormone, and it is the human chorionic gonadotropin send message of pregnancy to the master endocrine system, that is the pituitary gland. Send message of pregnancy to the pituitary gland. Okay, send message of pregnancy to master endocrine system to secrete LH. Now the pituitary gland is secretes luteinizing hormone to secrete LH to maintain corpus luteum, up to the end of the 3rd month. Okay, and prevents menstruation at the same time. It also prevents the menstruation and further ovulation. Okay, menstruation is stops and also further ovulation also. Okay student, next it is the HCG. HCG is the hormone is excreted through the maternal urine. Okay student, it is the human chorionic gonadotropin is passes to outside, excreted outside through the mother's urine. Okay, and it is helps in detect the pregnancy test, helps to detect the it is the presence of the HCG hormone in the urine indicates presence of the pregnancy. It is useful to detect the pregnancy test. Next student, somatomammatropin. Somatomammatropin, it is also called placental lactogen. Somatomammatropin, also called placental lactogen. Student, it shows the anti-insulin effect. What is the function of the insulin? Insulin, it is decreases the glucose levels in the body. Anti-insulin effect means it is placental lactogen, somatomammatropin increases the glucose levels, amino acid levels in the blood, and provides supplying high amount to the developed embryo. At the same time, these are the substances, supplying of these substances increases its level to the developed embryo. Student, anti-insulin effect on the mother leading to increased plasma levels of glucose amino acids in maternal circulation.